What's up guys, it's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Buildit video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than the typical walkthrough that I usually do. I'm going to just show you guys a couple of things and talk about the streaks, and then hopefully you guys will have a better understanding of what you should be doing with these. Okay, so for those of you who are new to the channel or not subscribed, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button, as I do put videos out daily on SimCity Buildit. I also have a Escape the Darkness series where I talk about, some of the stuff that I went through growing up, which if anybody's interested on that, you can click the channel and click Escape the Darkness and you'll see all of the videos on the playlist. I talk about addiction, opiates, all kinds of stuff, endometriosis, because I have endometriosis, sexual assaults, just all kinds of random stuff on that playlist. Okay, so for those of you guys who are here to learn about SimCity, here's the thing with the new contest to mayor's method. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to discuss with you guys about the streaks. That way you guys are aware so you don't make the mistakes that other people are making. The first mistake is one that I've talked about a couple of times now, and that is do not do the streaks too early, okay? Because what happens is if you do them too early, the game tries to level you out and it gives you garbage tasks basically for the rest of the contest. So what I've been telling people to do is to stack up as many upgrades as possible. Because if you're camping level 24, then you would stack up as many upgrades as possible, and you would then do your streaks after you have all of the upgrades in your list and your list is right around 20 tasks remaining. This will allow you to get all of the streaks done without having to worry about upgrades coming in, but it will also ensure that the game doesn't have time to level you out because you're able to do those tasks. Okay, so the next thing is reverse rotation. Now, this is something that a lot of people have a lot of trouble with and understanding. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, it's pretty frustrating. So, for those of you guys who are relatively new to reverse rotation and what it is, it's basically when the contest is giving you all low-valued assignments and all of your premiums, your normal tasks you would be doing, like 3 KVU and things like that, they're all in your list worth a low value. All of your non-premiums are in your list of a low value. So everything's just pretty lousy, Everything you do is being lousy. And you're sitting there looking at your list, you've got, let's say, 47 tasks left, you've been getting nothing but garbage, and in hopes to save your week, you make a vital mistake and you go and do the streaks early because you've been getting garbage and you're worried about your score. This will destroy your whole week. Okay, it's reverse rotation. So what happens is you're just supposed to try the best that you can during reverse rotation to rotate non-premiums. You're going to rotate the low non-premiums to get you through that downtime. And then once your uptime comes, then you can start rotating your premiums back in and then do the streaks. Otherwise, you'll burn through all of your streaks, your score is going to plummet, and the game's going to continue to give you garbage. So make sure that if you do happen to detect reverse rotation, that you burn through a couple of tasks by doing not your good rotatable options. Now, I am going to briefly kind of skim through this person's list and grade it the best that I can. But a lot of you guys, when you make mistakes, it is usually because you're not going through and thinking it all the way through. That's the whole reason that I wrote this math formula, was so that you guys could guarantee that you've thought of everything. Because when you're doing things off the top of your head, it's really easy to just look at value and opportunity and draw your conclusion from there. But oftentimes what happens is people, they don't think past that. They don't think about all the other things going on that may affect their choice. And I'm going to go through this. I'm going to try to get through it, relatively quickly, so bear with me here. But basically, let's go ahead and start this task assessment, which for those of you guys who have seen these videos before, you pretty much know what that is, and that's where you go through and you say everything that you know about each task, and then the task breakdown is where you label each one with main, rotatable, no touch, cancel. Now, being how the streak assignment is a 1K London, that's great. We're going to leave it sit until we get to 20 tasks remaining. That being said, moving down the list, we have a main. Why is this main? Because it's worth 2,000 points or higher. We have a main war deliveries task. Okay, this has high priority over anything else because it's a war task. Therefore, it should be done sooner rather than later because you can only do it for a limited amount of time. That being said, that would be the first obvious choice, right? But before we get ahead of ourselves here, we need to continue on and look down the list and see what else we got going on. We have a launch to VU, so that is a main task. It's worth 2,000 points or higher, and the next obvious choice. The wood is a premium rotatable option. It's worth a decent value, but not worth 2,000, so we mark it with an R because it's rotatable. You don't move to your rotatable options until all of your main options have been utilized. Okay, next one is delivery to Paris. This is a non-premium, but brings a halfway decent, chance of getting something good. So that's worth 1,600 points. That is a rotatable task. We have a no touch on the monster and the residentials. Then we have a rotatable option on the glass. Now, because of this value and the fact that she can do it in one round, basically, unless she gets something higher for factory production, like let's say like feed or something, then she would prep this before bed. If she was to get, let's say, 1,500 on chemicals or 1,400 on sugar or whatever, she would not prep those. Okay, because those we don't do at that value because they usually just keep coming back. Now, the next one here is the Epic Project for 1,200. Now, usually this comes back within like two or three times before it stays away, or comes back again or whatever. That being said, we don't really want to open up this doorway just yet, but it is probably going to have to be done at some point in the contest. So that's just something to kind of watch for. Now, the next thing is the keys for 1,200. At this points value, we basically won't touch these until we get to the tickets. The reason for this is because the keys don't bring any good opportunity. Therefore, doing them isn't going to give us better tasks. It's just going to lower our average and then whip back around and continue the same process. The next one is a launch war attack. Now this one usually, because it's pretty rare to get, it has a good chance of bringing in something of a high value and is a great rotatable option. Same with the melons, that is a rotatable option, but it's pretty low value, so right now we're going to put those on the bottom of the list basically, and then we have a design upgrade at the bottom, so that takes care of one of the upgrades, and then one here, so we have 2 out of 7 upgrades taken up. Okay, first choice is the 2,000 war deliveries. That's her task assessment. Okay, so she does the war deliveries. She gets a 2,000 point upgrade, which basically she can leave sit. And she does the VU, which is the next choice. She gets a main 3K war upgrade, which she does. This is why you guys need to stack those war cards. That's super important. Okay? It would suck to get that and not be able to do it. Then she gets a 2,000 point VU assignment. Repair. Now at this value, it becomes a main task. If this was at, let's say, 1,200, we would not be doing it, right? Because the algorithm is pretty high. It usually returns and is usually worth a lower value. That being said, at this value, we would go ahead and do it. Okay, now we have another upgrade come in. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7. That's pretty good so far. The next one would be, how do we make our next selection? What's the first thing we look at? Well, we have no main tasks. We have nothing over 2,000 points or higher. So now we're moving to our rotatable options. And this is kind of where I said nobody's really doing the math the way that they should. So what you would do first is you would go through and you would say, okay, which ones are the highest in the list? We have a 1,700 on the wood and we have a 1,600 on the Paris. Anything else is something too low, so it basically comes down to these two choices, right? Now, we can basically say, do you want that extra 110 points for the wood, but you have to clear whatever's in your factories, or you can do the 1,600 on the Paris, but not clear everything in the factories right this second. Being how it's unlikely she's going to get a feed task right now, I would go ahead and just do the wood, clear the feed out, do the wood, and what you can actually do is she can clear out, let's say she prepped 40 feed, right? She could clear out, let's say 30 of them, right? And leave 10 done so that if she does get a 2-round feed task, she has the first round completed. And then if nothing pops up before bedtime, she can go ahead and pick those up and prep the glass. So the wood is the correct choice. So she does the wood, she gets another upgrade war card, which is correct. Then she gets a 1,425 coin. Now this one brings no opportunity really and is low value. So what's the first thing we would do is we would go down and we would look at the next highest valued in the list, and that would be the 1,600 on the Paris deliveries. Now that is 400 points higher than everything else, so we're going to go ahead and go with the Paris. She gets a 3K launch VU, which is the obvious choice, and then she gets another 2K repair, which again is marked main task, so that is again the obvious choice. The corn is an obvious choice. Now she gets another upgrade, so that's 2, 4, 5. So she just needs 2 more upgrades now. Okay, so right here, looking at this list here, if you scroll in, now what's the first thing that we need to do before we make our selection? We need to analyze everything. Now the highest here is glass, but that's not going to be done forever if she's even started it, which would probably be done before bedtime anyways. Moving down the list, we have an epic at 1,200, and we have a launch war attack for 1,100. Now, it really comes down to epic or war attack. So, this is where you would do your math, and I can tell you that she didn't do her math in full. Otherwise, she would have got a different answer. So, if you write out the math the way that I've taught you guys to, and that is starting with value, which one is higher in value? Epic, right? That's for 1,200. Which one has a higher value opportunity? That's also epic because it's higher. So, which one has better opportunity? Well, the epic project, as we know, it usually comes back within 3 rotations, like 3 times, and then it stays away. Usually, anyway. But given the fact that it's only worth 1,200 points, do we really want to open up that doorway right now? What other, things do we got going on here? For example, let's continue down our math and let's say value difference. What's the difference? 100 points. That's the only difference, right? Now, in value. Now, what else do we have to look at? Limited time. Okay, which one of them is limited? Epics are limited, so you definitely want to do as little of them as possible and cram as many assignments into one epic as possible. So we know that we're probably going to end up having to do it anyways, but is there anything else that puts war above epic, and why? Well, war is limited, and you could easily rotate something and not necessarily have a good opportunity to rotate in that war assignment before war ends. So that being said, for that 100 points, given the fact that that assignment has a much better chance to give something of better value, I would go with the launch war attack, but she did the epic, so that was her first mistake. Now, she gets cream for 1800, which she does, and then she gets VU for 2000, makes that a main task, which she does. 1500 on plastic, and she gets another epic project for 1600, which obviously she does because now her epic's on a timer, so that pushes priority much higher. Okay, so she completes her epic, she gets medal, which she completes, and then she gets a 2400 Paris, which makes that a main task, which makes that obvious choice. Then she gets another 1600 on the epic, and now she gets a 3600 on Latin upgrade, so she only has, let's see, 2, 5, 6, one upgrade left to get in her list before she's cleared to do streaks, but she still has to make sure that she has about 20 tasks left. You don't want to do the streaks too early. It'll make a big disaster. Okay, seeds is, wait, sorry, I should have graded that. Okay, so right here, she made yet again another mistake, not understanding why she did this one. She did the coins over the, that war attack, and that didn't make any sense. She should have never done that. She's still in war, so, and even if she wasn't, that's exactly why she should have rotated that in. So this here, I don't even know how to begin to explain the level of mistake that was made here. I can't. What I try to do whenever somebody makes a mistake is I try to think about what was going through their head that said this is the right choice. Nothing here other than value makes this the correct choice. And this is what shows me that people are not doing the math that they're supposed to be doing. They're not thinking things out. They're just kind of, oh, that's the highest value. Like, it seems like a lot of times what people will do is they think that if they always go with the one that's worth the most points, that they somehow can just stack up all these extra, like, they think that that's the way to go about things. That's not going to benefit you. Doing that to get less points later is not beneficial. So, yeah, that was a big mistake there. So she does that, and she gets seeds. And then she gets another epic project for 2,000 points, except for now, that's probably on a cooldown, is my guess. Or maybe she didn't. Okay, so, okay, she was able to finish that. That's good. So she gets planks for 16. And she gets another epic. So she's on a timer for the epic. And does glass. What the fuck? Why is she doing that? I don't understand what she's doing. Anyways, she did the glass. She should have done the war assignment there at the bottom. She does the wood delivery for the main task, and then she gets her her final all upgrades in list. 20 tasks remain for streaks. Okay, so she's got 15 tasks to go before she can start doing the streaks. Now she finally does the damn launch war. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Why didn't you do this sooner? I'm just not understanding. Okay, so she goes with the repair for main, then she gets the grass. 3 hours away on the epic. She did the glass too early. She shouldn't have done that early. Okay, so now she's got this glass assignment. Given the fact that she has 3.5 hours, so this again is where you would start with the math, right? And we would say, okay, Epic is 3 hours away roughly. She says, we'll make glass. Okay, so right here, 45 is what it wants. That's 2 rounds for a level 24 player, except for whatever reason, she has 45 slots as a level 24 player. Don't ask me why. That being said, it's only 1 round for her specifically. That being said, I would not have stuck with just that task. I would have started the glass, and I would have looked a little further down, and I would have went ahead and rotated in the melons. Because of the fact that that is basically her last rotatable option, she has all upgrades in her list. I would want to get that one out of the way and see if I could get something to come in that was better, rather than waste more time. So she does the Epic. Oh, okay, I see what she was doing. She was waiting for the Epic, not the glass. Okay, so yeah, if she's going to wait for the Epic, that's fine. You want to be careful how much time you waste. And she's on 3 days and 18 hours or something. My guess is that she could get hit with some factory tasks and those streaks, which could give her a lot of downtime, so she's got to be prepared for that in case that happens. So she gets that. She does the VU. She gets a cargo for 18, which she does. A 2K delivery. And then she gets a 1600 on the disaster. Hold on. Wait a minute. What happened here? What? Oh, she did the glass. What? She got cargo. Hold on, what happened? Where'd the glass go? She did the glass. I'm missing a screenshot or something? Okay, she did that. Sorry guys, I'm getting confused now. Okay, so she's got her Epic for 2,000, which she does. 2,000 on the VU. Another 2,400 on the Epic. Okay, so 2,000 on the Epic, or the VU. Or repair, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so right here, CoM Guide says, caution when rotating chems at 16 to 1,700 points because of high algorithm. Can't rotate attack until war number 2, 22 hours from now. Monster here, but no common attacks will work. So, what does she do? Okay, so now she did, hold on. She's got 23 tasks remaining. She's got, okay, so London, chems, keys, melon. Good enough. Blown up. Okay, but here's the difference though, and this is something that she didn't consider. Hold on. I don't understand which one she came to the conclusion to. So it says value difference is 160. Value possibility is 3,000. Downtime, no. And limited, no. 2,400 plus. What did she? Okay, so that was the correct choice. She should have went with the streaks. Because she was so close to the 20 left, that's what she should have done. So that is correct. Coins is correct for the streaks. This is what I was afraid of happening, was the damn glass and the factory tasks coming in on those streaks. But anyway, so she does that. She gets another coins task, which is good. Okay, so she gets melons, which is a main task in the streaks, which is good. Then she gets wood, epic, okay. Another coins task, that's pretty easy, that's good. Now she gets plastic, which is good. Text, good. I knew they were going to hit her with factory tasks, I told you guys. Okay, now she gets another epic, which she does. This is another reason why you guys want to save your epics. This is exactly why. Can you imagine wanting to camp, having burnt through all of your epics and not being able to do these assignments? That would really suck. Okay, 3,000 point Tokyo delivery, which is good. Then she's got glue. Excellent. 3K on the Tokyo. Some more textile. Okay, let's back up. See what she's got going on. So she's got, my guess is she has some downtime on the texts, and she went ahead and did the launch war attack because war was there. That's good. Now here's where I would have waited for the textiles. Okay, I would not have done the coins. I don't know what she did yet, but basically in this instance, the coins aren't going to bring any good opportunity. And she needs to make sure that she can finish her streaks. So I would have went with the text, which is good. Okay. Now she gets shoes for 1760. That's correct. Another epic. Okay. Wood. Great. And that is, well, that is the end of her choices so far. So far, this is exactly how I was predicting it should go, right? So when I was telling you guys before, I was saying how you need to stack up your upgrades, get to 20 tasks remaining, go through the streaks, and then do whatever remaining tasks you have left. And that way, you know, you can bank in on all of these streak assignments and not have to worry about not being able to do them, or, you know, getting put into a situation where you just get garbage. I mean, seriously, you do your tasks and you get like 1,200 point tasks for the rest of the contest if you do your streaks too early. So this is exactly what you want to happen. Okay, so for those of you guys who would have done the chemicals and stuff, this is why we hold off, because it's not just about finding the time to do them once. Let's say that she does the chemicals and then she gets them again in the streaks. That would suck, right? So trying to leave certain things to sit to kind of benefit you later, it helps. So leaving her factories open is what she needs to do for the time being so that she can do any streak assignment that comes across. And if she gets to a point where she does all the streaks, and then she would be into her tickets, right? So then value trumps opportunity. There's really little to no benefit to canceling anything once you're in your tickets, unless you're right at the very beginning of your tickets and you have nothing available. Then okay. But for the most part, my guess is what she's going to end up doing for the remainder is finishing up the streaks, and then trying to basically bank in on any possible points she can in terms of the highest value. Will be what the rest of her week consists of, which already is a really good score, you know, for the fact that she's got almost 40,000, and she still has like 19 tasks to go. So yeah, she's doing really, really well, aside from those couple mistakes. That war assignment one, that one should have been dealt with much, much sooner. So for those of you guys who need help or would like, you know, some pointers as to if you're doing things right or wrong, you are more than welcome to hit me up on Facebook. If you type in MissyAnne and type in Marysville, Washington, because that's where I'm from, then you'll see my Facebook there, and you can go ahead and send me. Basically, what I do is I try to have people send them to me in an album, and I have a very short video on YouTube that shows you guys how to make the album with Google Photos, and that way I can just look at them as you upload them. So as she does her assignments and she uploads her screenshots, they automatically go to this folder, and then I get a notification right here. It says Kat added photos to this album, and I'm able to view it as she does that. So she just added one. She got a nails assignment, so that's obviously her next choice, which she does, and then she got a 1800 cargo. Okay, so that's obviously her next one would be the 1800 cargo. Okay, so you guys, good luck. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If anybody needs any help or you need the links to all the guides, those are on our Facebook page. If you type in SimCity Buildit MissyAnneTTVYT, you'll see us on Facebook. And I will see you guys later today or tomorrow with yet again another video.